We're back at Sideline Sports Day 4 from Radio Row. I have Adam Petrus, Zebra Technologies, the business lead for sports and entertainment. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thanks for having me. It's
My
great to
pleasure.
be here.
So tell us a little bit about Zebra Technologies. Where would I see you guys if I'm watching an NFL game?
Yeah, exactly. So Zebra Technologies has been a global leader in inventory management and asset tracking for over 50 years. So you and your fan base have interacted with Zebra. You just never really realized it. We are part of the technology solution with some of your favorite, retail stores, manufacturers, logistics. So you go into some of your favorite stores, the mobile handheld devices that are tracking inventory or scanning you out at the checkout is technology that Zebra Technologies builds. When it comes to certainly the NFL, we took our technology of tracking assets, packages, healthcare devices, and we applied that to the world of sports because the most important vital asset of the NFL is the players and the football.
I do not.
And so that's what we do now is we track every single player of every single game of every NFL game for the season, and we've been doing it since 2014.
So were you like the guys that put the thing in the shoulder pads where you can see how fast people run and everything?
That's us. As a matter of fact, I brought you a couple tags here. And so these are UWB ultra-wideband RFID technology, active RFID tags. And yeah, these get placed in the upper epaulette of every shoulder pad. And then even the down linemen wear a center tag, so it helps triangulate them when they go into a down position. But yes, these have a radio signal as well as a battery actively, and then our sensors are placed around the bowl of the stadium, and that way the field is then calibrated, and then once a player steps onto the field, we're tracking their every movement. So for that 100-yard kickoff return, we can actually tell you that it was 137 yards, maximum speed was 21.97, and he sustained that for 3.7 yards.
That's wild. So you guys just got a new 3-year extension with the NFL, so we're going to see you guys definitely for at least 3 more years and hopefully many more because this is fascinating. But not only are you doing games for the NFL, you also have the Combine and the International Combine.
Yeah, and we're also adding the HBCU Combine this year, which is really exciting to give those players, a feature and to allow scouts, coaches, GMs to evaluate them with the same technology that we've been tracking NFL stars for years. So yeah, we're really excited for the extension, continue that partnership with the NFL, and we're looking to continue to evolve our solutioning, but certainly our technology is the best in class. It's the most precise, accurate player tracking system in the world with UWB. So the NFL's made a great move, and we're happy for the partnership, and we're excited to now track the Combine this year and allow another set of data points for the NFL to be able to evaluate these up-and-coming stars.
Now, have you guys done the Combines before, or is this new?
So last year was kind of the first pilot year to look at how we would do it and go about the different periods, the different exercises, and then we provided that data to the NFL, and they were really pleased with what they saw and the story that it told. And so we are formally now under contract to track all the athletes that will be interviewing at the Combine.
That's really cool. So what kind of quirky stats would you have found from tracking the season? Anything that stands out that was something you never expect?
That's a great question because what's crazy, right, is that from one NFL play, there's over 260 data points that the NFL is looking at. So from that, you've got to really cycle down to what's important or what's a neat story that you can tell from that. And so I think some of the neatest facts right now is the data of deacceleration. And kind of, what does that mean? That is the ability to go from fast to slowing down and stopping. And why is it important? In football speed, if you're a receiver running a route and you're going to go 10 yards or 12 yards and then make a cut back to the sideline to make a catch and go out of bounds, well, you need to have fast feet and you need to have a fast deacceleration. The same thing goes for defensive back. That's the difference on making a play or making an interception or getting burned. So what we have seen, super fast guys, oftentimes will have a really fast deacceleration. But what's interesting is that it's not always the case. You can be a really fast guy, fast straight running forward, but you don't have the same sort of muscle capability to slow your body down and change direction. And so from an analysis standpoint, if I'm a coach, GM, scout, certainly at the Combine to even looking at my own guys is how do we make you a faster deaccelerator so that from lateral movement, you're going to be able to make plays and make dynamic movement.
Now with that, for example, the deacceleration and the cutting, does your software actually help teams possibly predict what could be an injury with something like that?
So that's another great question, and what we're proud of is that we build this hardware in our practice solution in the dashboard, and we allow the teams to really customize what they're looking at. And so what's important to one team isn't necessarily important to another team. But out of that, I think there's a real focus on player health and safety, wellness, and then also clubs that really get it. And there are a lot of clubs in the NFL that are, heavy on data analytics, and I would say they are super users of player tracking. The players within those organizations, they become part of a culture that realizes, hey, if I listen to the director of sports performance, the conditioning coach, that I can actually really lengthen my career. Because what you're doing is you're looking at load management, and what they'll do is they will look at putting the practice together, and the wide receivers and individual guys, they're going to say, look, for periods 4, 5, and 6, we only want to see Chase Allen at 75% of his max speed, because we want him to taper and be optimal for Thursday Night Football or if it's Sunday, etc.
That's interesting. Now, are there anything that you're thinking about abandoning in the future that you may or may not have that
I think one of the things that Zebra's going to continue to work in partnership with the NFL, and something that we will add between practice and game day data, is what we call Z. So if you look at a field, right, and go back to school and you've got your graph, you have X and Y axis. Well, think about the field that way. The back line as an XY, where we've totally measured out the field. So all the movement, raw data is captured in XY coordinates. Well, if you add Z, that is going vertically up. And one of the things that would be an interesting stat line for us to capture and to tell the stories with through the NFL is, let's look at player ability as far as the verticals on the field, from either a player going over the top on a 4th and inches, or from somebody making a spectacular acrobatic catch on the sidelines, and noting that this player just jumped, leaped 4 feet 9 inches to make this grab, and by the way, their wingspan, for total elevation had to go up, 15 feet to make the grab.
That's wild.
I think that would be a fun, interesting thing for us to do, and it's something that is certainly within the realm of possibility that our technology can capture.
Don't forget about the linemen. They do jump to block the passes. Give the
You're
linemen some
right.
love.
No, we love the big man, and there's some great stats out there that we capture on the big man. But to your point, player data, practice data, and the culture of realizing that if I listen and we use the scientific data analytics and we put together a scheme, you're going to see careers and longevity going further. And by the way, too, players are then getting paid based off of their performance with the data.
I love it, Adam. It was very interesting, and I learned a lot. How can people find out more about Zebra Technologies?
Yeah, certainly. You go to our website at zebratechnologies.com, but also look for our handles on social media at Zebra Sports and at Zebra Technologies.
Well, thanks for coming to the show. You're welcome anytime. Don't forget to take a cigar from the SGC
thank you
Foundation.
for the cigar.
And we appreciate you guys.
Cheers.